The first killing wasn't so bad, but the second one was much more brutal, and part of the gruesome killing was filmed. – 2008. Two men are walking through a remote area in the North Georgian mountains. Matthew Whitton and Rick Dyer. Matthew was a police officer on medical leave, and Rick was a retired corrections officer. They were hiking for a few hours when they made a shocking discovery. The story from this point on gets a bit fuzzy. There have been multiple tellings of what happens next. The men saw something big laying next to a stream. A massive animal. Rick took no chances, pulled out his gun, and shot it. At first, they couldn't tell what it was, until they flipped it over. What these men found shocked the world.
Nearly a year ago, we introduced you to a man who claimed to have shot and killed Bigfoot.
The men had found a dead Bigfoot, a 7'7", 500-pound Bigfoot, the indisputable proof the world was looking for. Whitton stayed with the body while Dyer hiked back to his truck and recruited the help of 6 men. The men dragged the corpse out of the forest and brought it back to civilization. While doing so, they had been followed by a number of Sasquatches. Upon returning home, they didn't alert authorities in order to not create a frenzy and protect the species. The men crammed the corpse into a freezer. On August 12th, the men would make an appearance on the radio show Sasquatch Detective. Later that week, they held a press conference in California, taking questions from Sasquatch enthusiasts and skeptical reporters. At the conference, Rick swore that it wasn't a hoax and he really did have the body of a Sasquatch. The conference made people who were already skeptical even more so. Sketchy photos of the body were released, and the pair didn't have the body with them. Dyer and Whitton submitted 3 samples of DNA to an undisclosed university in Washington state. One came back inconclusive, and another had traces of opossum DNA. The Bigfoot body gained national news coverage. Every major news outlet wanted to run a story. 4 years later, Rick would kill again. Did you know that Washington, Oregon, and California all have laws making it illegal to kill Bigfoot? Texas has no such kind of legislation in place. 2012. A homeless woman in San Antonio, Texas, tells Dyer that she has seen Bigfoot in the area. Dyer decides to go to the same spot the woman saw Bigfoot. After hiking along a trail, he immediately saw the Bigfoot. Dyer went back later, but this time he had a camera crew. The camera crew was working on a documentary following amateur Bigfoot hunters across the states. It was being directed by award-winning English director Morgan Matthews. The crew set up camp at the same location Rick had seen the Bigfoot. After sunset, it didn't take long for things to become dangerous. At night, the Bigfoot made its way to camp. Dyer grabbed his gun and chased after it. Morgan followed. Dyer shot at it, and it attacked. The Bigfoot bowled through the director, giving us possibly the most horrifying images of a Bigfoot ever filmed.
Rick, I'm going back to the car.
Dyer and Matthews had a falling out after fighting over custody of the film. Dyer wasn't satisfied with the outcome of this incident. He wanted more proof. He needed to kill it. Dyer bought pork ribs at a local Walmart, doused them in his special barbecue sauce, and nailed them to a tree in an attempt to lure out the Bigfoot. He hid in a tent and waited, camera and gun at the ready. Bigfoot would look Rick in the eyes once again, but this time, it would be the animal's last. Rick filmed this video at the scene. Just moments after, he shot it, fatally wounding the monster. It wasn't until 2014 that Rick revealed to the world he had killed Bigfoot again. Between 2012 and 2014, he had the body preserved. With this body, Rick chose to do things a little differently. With this body, Rick wanted to profit, or as he said, show the body to the people. Instead of keeping the body hidden in a freezer, allowing for only experts to examine it, Rick took the body on tour. For 3 months, Rick took Hank around the continental United States, stopping at carnivals, parking lots, and all the other places people take Bigfoot corpses. Hank was kept in a 9-foot-long coffin topped with plexiglass. $10 for adults, $5 for children. It was estimated that the tour made $60,000. If Dyer had proof of Bigfoot, then what happened? Why are people still skeptical of Bigfoot's existence? Turns out, he wasn't exactly who he seemed to be. Just days after the press conference on Friday, Matt Whitton and Rick Dyer were caught. Their Bigfoot body was exposed as a rubber ape costume. The men were exposed by the very people that revealed their find to the world, Sasquatch Detective radio show. Sasquatch Detective Steve Kulls said that he realized the body was a hoax when it began to thaw after the press conference had already taken place. When the Bigfoot began thawing, he noticed a crack in the ice block at the Bigfoot's feet area. Kull reached for the foot, and upon grabbing it, realized it was rubber. He immediately wrote to the Searching for Bigfoot CEO, Tom Biscardi. After Tom confirmed that the foot was rubber, Whitton and Dyer admitted that the corpse was a fake. They revealed that the rubber costume was purchased from TheHorrorDome.com, a website known for selling professional Halloween costumes and props. Jerry Perino, owner of the HorrorDome, confirmed that the body heavily resembled their Bigfoot costume. The men had stuffed the costume with opossum innards and slaughterhouse leftovers in a ploy to fool the public. Upon being exposed, Dyer claimed that he did have an authentic Bigfoot corpse. However, an unnamed government agency confiscated the body. Believing that he needed to produce something, Dyer fabricated the hoax. The entire thing only lasted a few days. Of course, 2012 wasn't as simple. Meet Andrew Clacy, a business owner from Australia who just wanted to be part of history. He truly wanted to be the one who shows the world that Bigfoot does exist. Rick Dyer hired him to be the spokesperson for Hank and sent the two on the road. Unfortunately for Andrew, things were going downhill quick behind the scenes. People managing the tour were resigning left and right. The accusations that the body was a fake only kept increasing, and worst of all for Dyer, he began facing lawsuits. Andrew confronted Rick on the authenticity of the body. Dyer folded, telling him that he had commissioned Twisted Toy Box, a small business that creates masks and props, to create a family of Bigfoot. Rick communicated to owner Chris Russel that he wanted a father, mother, and child Bigfoot for a movie about killing Bigfoot. Russell began receiving threatening emails and phone calls from Dyer, leading him to stop after he finished the father Bigfoot. Hank was made out of latex and camel fur. Russell said that Dyer told him to make the prop look like a poorly made, old and rotten taxidermy prop that had not been preserved correctly. With nearly all of his crew gone, Dyer announced on Facebook that Hank was indeed a fake. Immediately after discovering that the body was a fake, Andrew resigned and returned to his home in Australia. He lost $12,000. Rick doubled down once again, claiming that he did shoot a Bigfoot in San Antonio, but didn't take it on tour for he feared it would be stolen. Rick is now a used car salesman, and his days of Bigfoot hunting seem to be over. Is there any truth to any of the claims that Rick made? I doubt it. If Rick Dyer ever comes into contact with a real Bigfoot, will anyone believe him?